Hi, Mike. It's Connor. Connor, this is Mike.
Hey Connor, how's it going?
Good. Sit down right here.
Yep.
So I head back in there, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Connor, we're live whenever you're ready. Congratulations on your title. I think you were wrestling in probably one of the deepest weight classes in the tournament. How do you think you performed today?
I think I did good. I accomplished what I came here to do, to finally get the big stop sign after a long time of trying for it. And I can't say wrestle perfect because there's always things you can improve on.
So a couple months ago, less than a couple months ago, you were competing at senior nationals.
Mhm.
You ended up placing, while being junior eligible. It's a pretty big feat. Can you talk a little bit about that tournament and maybe how it helped you get ready for this one?
That tournament, the main reason for me to go to that tournament was, get ready for just this tournament. The plan was just to go, get a better competition than I would at the junior level, go up to the seniors, wrestle with the big guys, the higher world tier level, the Olympic guys, and put it out there. And I ended up placing, competing really good. And I think that helped me get into the mindset of that I can come and win juniors. Seniors was a lot harder than juniors was. Not to, talk down on any of my opponents, but it just to me it felt harder than cadets, juniors, or anything like that.
So in the finals, you had Sullivan, who was a two-time Junior Fargo champ, pretty tough dude. I didn't get to catch the match. It looks like you won 12-5. Could you walk me through it a little bit?
First off of the period, it was just tying in, getting into positions, and I caught the first passivity call, so I went down. He got the one. Really great lift by him. Threw me for 4. It was an amazing lift, and then I knew I had to come back. He went for an arm spin. I came around, stopped it, got my 2, got a gut, and then I got 4, and then the gut from me stopping his arm spin to his back, and then sorry, just trying to relive it.
No, all good. I know it's tough, especially just coming off.
And then went into the next period, and he caught the passivity call. I got my 1, and then I went top bottom. I think I got a gut or 2. I can't quite say. I remember, but and then I got an elbow pin to the side, go around for a 2, and then a gut off that, and I think that was a match. At least I think so.
That sounds about right. If not, that was a pretty good almost recall. So you're committed to wrestle at Iowa State in college. Obviously, 4 years of folk style, 4 or 5 or 6, depending on Olympic years and all that. But do you see yourself pursuing Greco, collegiately and post-collegiately potentially?
Yeah, it's been a goal for a while. Just competing at seniors was that next step. Winning juniors was that next step to eventually get up to making senior world teams. And too bad I can't make a junior world team, but making senior world teams and then Olympic teams, and plan just keep going on.
Yeah. So obviously no junior worlds this year, but you're still a junior national champion. What does that mean to you?
It hasn't really hit me yet, but I know it's a big thing, and that's what the whole plan was, here to come and win it, and then be eligible for seniors, if I am correct, the senior
world.
Yep, because
team trials.
Yep, be eligible for that. That was the major outcome of this, and so that's what happened, and it's awesome. Finally get the big stop sign, the one I haven't gotten yet.
Well, congratulations, Connor. Great tournament. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.
All right, Emily, we're good. All right, Emily Shilson, junior nationals champion. Emily, it's been a while since I've seen an age group level girl give you a tough match. Swain gave you a pretty tough match, graded it out 4-2. How'd you feel about your performance?
I felt pretty good, but obviously I need to make some adjustments there. She was slowing me down a little bit, and so I need to work on clearing those ties, getting to my offense, and not letting anyone just kind of hang out there.
So you pretty much wrestle whenever you can. You show up to everything. You're at senior nationals. You were at Beat the Streets. You wrestled just about as much as anybody in this pandemic. Could you talk a little bit about that and your willingness to go and compete?
I love wrestling. Any chance I get to compete, I'm going to take it. And I was extremely fortunate for Beat the Streets to reach out, and then Flo reached out for the event, I think, last week, and then senior nationals too. So it's just fun to compete. I love seeing the results of it's what I've been working on through this whole time. My training didn't really change much. I have everything that I need for training in my house. I have 2 built-in practice partners with my dad and my brother Tyler, and so they were willing to train with me the entire time. So it's been awesome.
Do you ever feel pressure, especially in like the age group tournaments where maybe you're kind of expected to be the top dog?
There is some pressure there, like this tournament and like college nationals last spring, but also it's a lot of fun to go out there with that target on my back and see what I'm capable of. It's always exciting to wrestle, and so I didn't feel too nervous coming into this tournament. I felt really excited, and I always have a lot of fun when I'm excited.
So you're registered for U23s tomorrow as well.
Yep.
How are you feeling? You ready to go for that?
Absolutely. My weight's good. I'm feeling good. My body feels awesome, and ready to go do it again tomorrow.
I think it happens I think you see it more in women's wrestling than you do in guys wrestling. Women wrestling, like two different age groups. But how does it feel like when you look at the bracket and you see like a ton of the same people in the bracket, for two tournaments in a row, kind of?
I don't look at the brackets too much. I just look at who I'm going to have next, and I don't really focus on how everyone did the day before, because a lot can change. There are a lot of tweaks that I can make to my wrestling for tomorrow. Even before the finals match, I was working on some stuff, and yeah, there's just always improvements I can make, so I don't focus too much on the day before.
Gotcha. Well, congratulations, Emily, and look forward to seeing you compete again.
Thank you.
Good job.
Hey, Mike.
Hey.
This is Chase. Chase, this is Mike.
Nice to meet you. I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
There we go. Fist bump. Sweet.
Yeah, here, let me wipe this down real quick.
Oh, yeah.
You're good to go, Chase.
Awesome.
All right, Chase LaJoy, junior national champion. How are you feeling?
Feel great. Better than ever. Finally glad to be back on the mat and competing. So it's good.
So you were competing in an absolutely killer weight class. You obviously ran the table. I didn't get to catch your finals match. Looks like you won by technical fall.
Yep.
How do you think you performed today?
I think I performed all right. There's definitely things I need to improve on, but overall, I think what I've been practicing and working on has been working. Tying hands, staying in good position, 80-20. But I think there's things I can improve on, but overall, good.
Yeah. So can you walk us through that 10-2 finals match?
Yeah. I believe it was pretty close. I was fetching for a passivity call on the other guy, and then we got into a little flurry. I ended up on top, and I think I got he did get put down, and then I got 4 points from a front head pinch.
Gotcha.
And then after that, it was just like 2-point takedowns back and forth. He got one, and then the rest were on me. So, yeah.
So you're committed to Cornell. Are you doing a gap year, or what are you up to right now?
Yes, I'm doing the gap year, just taking a year off due to COVID, and then I should be enrolled in Cornell next year. So.
Gotcha. So how have you kept your training up during this time period?
Just rolling with coaches that I can. We have a little barn that we can work at, so just training there and working on small techniques that I can improve on. So
When was the last tournament you competed in?
I think it was my senior year states. So.
When's the last time you had a layoff that long?
A very long time. I was questioning whether or not I even wanted to wrestle because it was such a long time. I kind of forgot how it felt to compete. So now that I'm here, I'm very glad that I'm wrestling again. So.
What was your initial reaction when you stepped on the mat and wrestled your first match, and what was going through your head?
I had a huge smile on my face. It was super cool. I put on my old music. I had Elton John, Rocket Man, super nostalgic. I was like, man, I'm glad to be back here. So good feeling.
That's awesome.
All right.
Well, congratulations, Chase, and look forward to seeing you compete again soon.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, Tiara. All right. Tiara UK, senior nationals champion, or excuse me, not senior nationals, junior nationals champion. 2019 U.S. Open champion as well, so I think that's why I got seniors in my head. But talk about your tournament a little bit.
I'm sure many people, this is probably the first tournament back in over a year or so. And I think getting back into it was starting all over again. You have that same butterflies, and you always have butterflies no matter I'm sure senior level athletes still have it, but this was feeling my first tournament back in high school or something. Those butterflies, I was just super nervous, but I feel there's also a lot of excitement, and I know I was super anxious the night or week before, just leading up to competition. So it was great to finally be able to compete.
When was the last tournament you wrestled in?
Ooh. See, I don't have that very good of a memory, but I'd have to say maybe the NYAC. That was probably my last tournament before Corona hit. So yeah, back in January last year.
So besides the anxiety, once you actually got into the matches, how did it feel to be back out there?
I feel I had a little bit of a slow start, but 1-2 matches in, I felt I was really amped up, and my mindset kind of changed midway, where I was super just looking at focusing on the ceiling, the lights, tuning everything out around me, and kind of a kill mentality, going out there attack, and just really focusing on everything that we've worked on in the room, trying to implement it in our matches, not straying away, going back to old habits, kind of continuing that growth from there.
Yeah, well, in the finals, well, actually, even in the semifinals, you had some really tough opponents. You had Hoke, and then in the finals, you had Felicity Taylor, and you dominated both matches. Can you talk a little bit about those?
So the last time I wrestled Alicia was also at NYAC, and I lost by a couple points, and I feel I addressed a lot of the fixes that had to be made, specifically for her, and as well overall my style, just a lot more movement, controlling the ties, and then just being really vicious with the attacks, not entering in kind of slow, getting ready to spring out right from the whistle. And then Felicity was another collegiate wrestler that I wrestled last nationals in Texas, and they're both very good girls. They have their strengths, but I feel the competition was still up there, and we all made adjustments for each other, and I'm just really excited to see them again, to wrestle them, and I know that we'll probably continue this battle for years to come.
So it's probably hard to say due to the pandemic, but what do your next couple months look like, idealistically leading up to Olympic team trials?
The ideal thing is to, as long as the numbers stay down, still being able to train in the same facility. I know the Colorado Olympic Training Center is still very limited on who can come in, how much interaction we can have outside. So like they're expecting us not to work out in any outside areas or, socialize without a mask, social distancing, all that. But hopefully start getting in more of the girls. We know we're trying to start national team camps if possible, depending on like the other states also. But kind of just eventually trying to get back into the norm, even though coronavirus did kind of become the norm. So just being able to expand our training to other national team members and international teams as well.
Awesome. Well, hey, congratulations, and look forward to seeing you back on the mat.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, it's kind of sweaty.
No, it's all good.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Mike, this is Peyton, this is Mike.
Hey, Peyton, how's it going?
Good.
Take a seat right here. Get started. All right, Peyton Jacobson, junior national champion. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. I've been training hard these past few months. Haven't competed since Austria and 8 months ago, and actually haven't trained on U.S. or wrestled on U.S. soil since Fargo 2019. So it's been a while. I haven't really done good in domestic competitions, but this one feels really good.
So what did it feel like being back on the mat for the first time in such a long time?
I've been training, which just feels really good. I don't know, it's weird. We just, I don't know, I'm just shocked right now.
All good, man. It's a big moment.
Yeah, so I felt like I was in great position. Felt like I was ready to go. My coaches got me ready and competed well.
Yeah, so in the finals, you had Logan Hatch. I didn't get to catch the match. It looks like you won 5-3.
Mm-hmm.
Could you walk us through it a little bit?
Yeah, so first period, he's just a little bigger than me. I knew that going in. And I've wrestled with him before. He's always been bigger than me. But he got forced parterre first. I didn't think he was going to be able to turn me. And once he didn't turn me, I knew second period I'd be able to get him down in forced parterre. And I've been good on top lately, and I felt like I could turn him.
Yeah. So coming into the tournament, what were your expectations? Did you see yourself winning the tournament?
I thought I was going to win. The whole time I was thinking I'm going to win this training. I was actually going to go 60 kilos. I struggled with the weight cut, so I just bumped up to 63 and paid off.
Yeah, it's got to feel good to eat and win.
Yeah, exactly.
So no junior world championships this year, obviously, but you're still a junior national champion. Can you talk about what that means to you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been training to be winning world medals for this country, but this year couldn't do that. So the next goal is to win this tournament, prove that I'm a first-year junior and I can win this stuff too. I'm young, coming in, I can win this.
So going forward, the next couple of months, what does that look like for you?
Take a week off or something, and then back into the training room. We're going to try and get ready for last chance. Hopefully get down to 60 for that, because 60 and 67, I'm too small for 67. But yeah, that's the goal. And then hopefully we can go overseas. I was planning on going to Sundsvall, Sweden, but we'll see with all the travel restrictions.
Yeah. So being a first year junior and looking to go, senior level, get to Olympic team trials, like does that intimidate you at all?
Not really. I mean, I just started full-time Greco last year, so I've just been doing Greco. I'm a senior in high school, and I've just been wrestling all Greco, no folk sound anymore. And it's been paying off, obviously, here, and I've been doing well overseas. And now my next goal is to make the Olympic team trials.
Awesome. Well, hey, Peyton, congratulations.
Thank
Great
you.
performance, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.
Good job, man.
So I go back to the table?
Yeah, did you get your
I didn't get it yet.
Yeah, I would head back to the table then.
All right.
I didn't want to butcher it.
It's okay, everybody does it, it's fine.
Great.
Do I look at you or the camera?
Look at the camera.
Okay.
Junior Nationals champ, Linnea Estrella, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling really, really good right now. Yeah, just so good.
When's the last time you competed in the tournament?
The last time I competed in the tournament was during the summer. I think it was Western States. I think that was my last one.
So how did it feel to be back on the mat after such a long layoff?
It feels so, so amazing. My college campus isn't open, so it was really closed down. So I had to find a way to train, and I went to Idaho to American Falls Wrestling Club. We've been up there since around March, just training, getting all of our work in, doing everything that we need to do. And it's amazing that we got to the opportunity to get better.
Yeah. So looking through the tournament, it looks like you had kind of a close call in the quarterfinals, and then you really got rolling. And in the finals, you beat a really tough Dale Baker 11-0. Can you talk a little bit about that?
It's such an amazing experience. So I've been faced with a lot of adversity these past couple of days. With my initial travel here, I was supposed to drive from Idaho to Nebraska, and it was about a 14-hour drive. But about 4 hours in, we got to Wyoming, and all of the roads were closed. They weren't going to open up until Thursday morning, and we wouldn't have enough time. So we had to do a U-turn and book it to Salt Lake. Then from Salt Lake, I got into a plane, and all of my flights were delayed. Everything was just going terribly wrong. I was going through terrible things, like in a very, very dark place in my mind. But at the end of the day, it all worked out, and I'm so happy that all of the adversity that I faced, it got me to this point, and it got me to where I am. And it was just amazing. It made me so much tougher.
Yeah. Could you walk us through your finals match a little bit? Again, I didn't get to catch it, unfortunately.
Oh,
So
no worries.
How did it all go down?
It was just basically a lot of takedowns, hand fighting. She got really good Russian. She's a very, very good wrestler. She's tough. She's very strong. And at the end of the day, it just came down to pushing the pace and whoever wrestled their match instead of wrestling the other person's match. And I think that I just wrestled a very good match against her, and it all worked out.
Yeah. So Hawaii's got like a really good, history of women's wrestling. One of the first states to sanction it. Obviously, Clarissa Chun. Tiara Ike was in here before you.
Yeah.
Looks like you guys are buddies.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that and representing Hawaii?
Yeah, well, everybody from Hawaii basically knows each other. If you're from Hawaii, everybody else got your back. So it's really nice to come out here and see all of these Hawaii girls because there's so much of them in this tournament. And it's just amazing that the love and support, even though we're from different places and everything, we can all come together and be successful together. And I love girls wrestling in Hawaii. It's just us girls being warriors, and they don't make us any different from the boys. It's an amazing sport, and it's an amazing place for it.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey, thank you very much, and congratulations. Great tournament.
Thank you. Is it still recording?
Yeah.
I wanted to give a shout out to Gold Medal Gear, the best singlet man in the game. My American Falls Wrestling family, Nate Gugelman and Lisa Gugelman, and my coach Zach, and the GOAT Jacob Eck. He's the one that supported me through all this, and he got me to where I needed to be.
Awesome. Well, I hope your shout outs appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, we're here with Junior National Champion Dayton Forest. Dayton, how are you feeling?
Pretty good.
So, sorry, I'm bringing up the bracket right now. I've been back in this room and I've not been able to watch the matches. So, when was your last tournament?
A year ago this weekend, I wrestled at the Grandview Open and tore my meniscus.
Oh boy, how long did that take to rehab from?
At first, I didn't think it was a torn meniscus, so I spent about 6 weeks recovering a PCL, and then about 8 weeks after that, I was like, it's still not good. Like, we got to do something else. Got an MRI, and then got surgery a few days later, and then started getting back into training. Then all this COVID stuff hit. Then I was home back on the farm and haven't really trained much until went back to school. So.
So you pinned the seniors national champion in the final. That's a pretty big deal. Can you walk us through that a little bit?
So in high school, everyone always made fun of or kind of joked around because I always had a pretty good headlock. And we're the smallest classification in Kansas. A lot of people like to call it the weakest or whatever. I don't care. But so I just always had a feel for that headlock and just being able to pull one way and then come back the other way, just kind of moving directions. I felt it was there. I mean, he had that deep underhook and had my elbow high, and as soon as I got out my left-handed underhook, it was right there, and he stepped, and I came around with it and sealed it off.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can tease you about hitting headlocks and
not anymore.
You just pinned the senior national champ, so that's a pretty big accomplishment. What were your expectations for yourself coming into this tournament, especially after such a long layoff?
I mean, I haven't wrestled much Greco really. My training partner, Jake Beeson at Pratt, he knew the basics of Greco. We've been working, and I'm going to say it's not the most ideal training situation, but what he did was great. I mean, he got me down to weight. He got me the feels I needed. So, training up to this, it's been definitely different. I mean, I'm not in the best shape I've ever been for this tournament. Definitely haven't had the training I've had before for this tournament, but I mean, just coming into it, I was so excited to wrestle. It's been too long.
Yeah.
And it was a great way to have this tournament go.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, despite like a not ideal situation, you went pin tech pin. Is there more Greco in your future, do you think?
I'd like to hope so. Just gonna see how everything goes coming down. I'm back at JUCO college now, kind of more my fit in the Division One. So we'll see how this year goes. See how I go. We'll just play it by ear. I mean, I'd definitely love to do more with Greco.
Gotcha. What drew you to Greco to begin with?
Um, so we had this kid, Josiah Seaton, went to college 30 minutes down the road. And somehow we ended up having him live in our basement, work on our farm for about 2 summers. He was on 2 junior world teams. And so we spent a lot of time wrestling Greco. So that kind of pushed me more towards it. I can't defend my legs anyway. So it's my spit. It's what I needed.
Yeah. So farm boy strong, is that a true thing, or is
That's
that
what everyone tells me. I think it's just my grip, really.
Yeah.
I can't lift the weights, but everyone says I got good grip.
Yeah. When did you realize, like, hey, I might be pretty darn good at Greco-Roman?
I mean, I always kind of felt like I was, but shoot, what was it? 2 years ago, maybe. I wrestled Dom Demas at this tournament out in Vegas. And I felt like I had a really good match with him. I mean, he ended up pinning me, but I felt like I kind of opened like some people's eyes, like I can actually compete at this level. I don't know how I finished that tournament, honestly, but I felt like after a match like that with someone like that, I felt like I could really compete at a higher level.
Yeah, well, going forward and now having this, tournament under your belt and that really big win under your belt, what do you think that does for you and kind of your goals and aspirations in Greco?
I think it's going to kind of open some eyes and some gateways. I mean, right now, like, I'll be honest, a lot of people probably didn't know I was in this tournament. They probably saw me as a second seed and were wondering, like, who's this kid? Just because I'm not a big name out there, which I like. I don't mind. It doesn't matter to me. So I think it's going to open hopefully some opportunities, which would be great because my part of the state, there's not a whole lot around. So it's a lot of driving to find stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to like sneak up on people in the brackets anymore.
Not now.
You might have a target on your back now. Congratulations, awesome tournament. Awesome finals match. Can't wait to see you wrestle again.
Thank you.
Down the drag right away. You got on top and you go long on. Actually, I'm just going to be quiet. That's 600. Second one, 16-7. That's all you're doing. Pull that whole match.
All right, Weston. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Using my words. All right, Weston Mills, junior national champion. How are you feeling?
I'm pretty good.
You had a heck of a tournament.
Yeah.
You teched everybody you wrestled. I don't think you allowed a point.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to feel really good.
Yeah. It was pretty nice feeling. Just coming off of folk style, didn't know how my transition would be.
Obviously went pretty smoothly.
It did.
In the finals, you had Bobby Perez,
Yeah.
Pretty tough guy.
Yeah. I actually, last year I was at the OTC with him when he came in after going to like Cadet Worlds and winning Fargo. He came in and started training with us. So I knew him from there.
How did you feel about the matchup going into it?
I haven't seen him in about all summer, and then I've been in college right now, so I knew he's grown. I didn't know how much he's grown. I went in there expecting the best from him. Went out there to wrestle my best and give him my match. So that's what I did.
So can you walk us through it?
Went out there, planned on controlling it, and I realized that like was trying to get to my drags. They were working, just kind of trying to contain the center, make sure I keep my head up. He kept kind of blocking a little bit, kept control, worked my wrist. Then that first throw, I was able to get to the body, and I threw him right there at the edge. Got my 4. Came back. We were wrestling. Then going into the second, I was working him. And I realized that once he got that underhook on me, I was clamping it down real hard, and he wasn't trying to back out or anything. Couldn't keep out. I was kind of keeping him there in place, and I felt the arm spin, so I hit it there at the end.
Yeah. When was the last tournament you competed in?
Actually, last weekend I wrestled a folk style tournament, the Patriot Open.
Gotcha. When was the last Greco tournament?
Probably senior, the trials to go, Olympic trials. So it's been since Texas last year.
Gotcha. Were you worried about feeling rusty at all?
Yeah, I was, because I also tore my meniscus at the beginning of this year. Came back after that. I've been like practiced the full go a little over 2 weeks now. So I was a little worried coming back rusty, but last weekend I was feeling pretty good. So I came here thinking I'd be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to say last weekend probably, there's probably not too many people on the mat that had more recent, live tournaments and stuff. So do you think that helped you for today?
I could say it could, yeah, because you get that little bit of first that season tournament jitters out of the way. I'd say it helped me. It also a little real nerve-wracking because it's first college tournament for me. So all of that, just 2 weekends in a row, pretty good weekends. So it's pretty exciting as well.
So obviously you're locked into folk style for the next, 4 or 5 years. Is Greco still on the horizon for you too?
100%. My plan is, if I'm not going to stay at college and train Greco, with my coach, his name's Caden Calkins. He's actually a big Greco wrestler as well. Train with him maybe over the summers. If not, I'm gonna go back to OTC over summer, keep training Greco.
Awesome. Well, hey, Winston, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great tournament, great performance, and can't wait to see you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Justin, congratulations. All right, Justin McCollum, junior national champion. How are you feeling?
Feels good. Feels good. A lot of hard work.
Yeah, teched your way through the tournament. That's pretty impressive. In the finals, you had a pretty tough guy, junior world team member Jack Irvine. You ended up with a 16-7 win. Can you talk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, actually, about a minute and a half into the match, or a minute and 15, I was down 6-0. I got arm spun right away, got gutted, and then it took me out of bounds. I was trying to hip over and ended up getting exposed again. So I was down 6-0 pretty quick, and ended up just being, I just had to keep pushing, keep pushing the pace on him, and started getting to my ties instead of letting him dictate things, and was able to start controlling the match, and the momentum kind of switched, and I was able to finish it off. So
yeah, what's going through your head when you go down 6-0 to a guy that is pretty tough?
Exactly what my coaches told me. We gotta start wrestling. We gotta hustle. So you just gotta get into that mindset that you're gonna go into Grandview now. And my high school coach said the same type of thing. You gotta outfight absolutely everyone on the mat. And it doesn't matter if you're down 6-0 or, in a folk style match, 14-0, but you still got to outfight everybody. And that's what I had to tap into.
Yeah. So when is the last time you wrestled at a tournament?
Well, wrestling in AIA, actually pretty fortunate. I was able to wrestle a couple weeks ago at the York Open in Nebraska here. And then, so we're going to have, we're wrestling some folk style every other weekend or every weekend. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. When's the last time you did Greco?
Fargo, going into my senior year of high school.
So a little bit of a gap.
It's been a little while, yeah.
What was it like to be back in it?
Oh, Greco is probably my favorite style out of all three. I love how fun it is to watch, and it's just a little bit different mindset wrestling Greco, and
and it's probably the most fun for me to wrestle. So I was excited when I came here.
Yeah. Well, now that you got a junior nationals title under your belt, do you think we see you maybe in some more Greco tournaments?
Oh, for sure. I love Greco, and I want to keep pursuing it. So it'll be fun.
No junior worlds this year, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But what does being a junior national champion mean to you?
It's been a long year for absolutely everyone with COVID and everything, and training hasn't always been what you usually would get, and so it's competition. I haven't been able to get much. So this just proves to myself that I've been doing the right things, even when you don't necessarily get to see without competition, but you just have to trust in the process that you're doing what you need to do to be prepared. And it shows that I've done a good job, but there's still a lot more to build on. I mean, I was down 6-0, a minute into that match. So always can go back and break down what you did wrong and fix it. So
coming into this tournament, what were your expectations? Did you expect to end up on top?
I came here, you always come expecting to do the absolute best you can do. And of course, last time I wrestled in the junior world team trials, the spring of my junior year, and I ended up losing in the blood rounds. And I wanted a stop sign when I left, and so it was just I was in the hunt to go out and absolutely control every match I was in, and ended up being able to do that. So.
Yeah, well, you got your stop sign. You got a big one too.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Look forward to see you compete again.
Yep, have a great day.
You too. Gracie Figueroa, junior national champion. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. A little tired, but it's great to be back on the mat.
So pretty tough bracket, pretty loaded. In the finals, you had Michaela Beck, obviously a stud. 4-2 match, I think, pretty close.
Yeah.
Could you talk to us a little bit about, your run through the bracket and your finals match?
Yeah, I mean, I knew this was a match to give everything I got, and I had to wrestle smart in it. And 4-2, I mean, during the match, it looked like I was just pretty much dominant, controlling. I just kept calm, and I just wrestled with heart.
So you're no stranger to big matches and big tournaments and that sort of stuff. But it's been a little while. You haven't been able to compete as frequently. What's it like being back on the mat?
I missed it. I really did miss it. I mean, at first, my first match didn't go as planned, so I was kind of a little hesitant. But I just knew I just got to pull through, keep focused on my matches, make sure I do whatever I do, and just not wrestle their match and wrestle my match.
So what have the past 8 or 9 months looked like for you?
Well, honestly, I've been really blessed. I've been on the mat wrestling. My brother Richard Figueroa, so I've been with him. So yeah, we were able to find a mat at our house and just keep wrestling. I mean, it's not the same as competition, as you can see. It was, but it was still something, and we just kept working out.
Yeah. So coming into the tournament, what were your expectations, and did you meet them?
My expectation was, because I put myself on a very high standards, and I was expected to win. Like, for myself, I wanted to win. I put in a lot of work. I cut, and the passion that I bring into it, I expected myself to win.
Yeah. No junior worlds this year, obviously.
Yeah.
But what does being a junior national champion mean?
It means a lot, actually, because like seniors, I had like little dry spell, like I wasn't performing as well. But this just made me realize, like, I am good enough to hang with them, and I'm gonna keep moving forward and try to get better and just start placing top on senior level.
Yeah. So what do the next couple of months look like going forward for you and trying to get ready for the Olympic trials?
Right now, well, I gotta go back and talk to my coach and see what's the next step. But as soon as I get back home, keep wrestling, keep training.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Gracie, great tournament, great win. Congratulations. Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you so much.
Nice job. Have a good rest of your weekend. Good, Mike?
Yep.
Sweet. This is Jake. Jake, this is Mike.
What's up? Hey, Jake. How's it going? Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm assuming I'm supposed to put a shirt on that's going.
Do whatever you want.
Put a shirt on. I'll compromise with a shirt and a hat.
All right, Jake Hendricks, junior national champ, U23 national runner-up. Busy day for you.
There.
How you feeling?
A little worn out. I mean, it's really good to get back competing, but the lack of competition definitely kind of wears you down a little bit.
When was the last time you competed in the tournament?
January, and I hurt my foot, so I was out for the rest of the season, and then everything got canceled.
Yeah. So what were you telling yourself, in your first match back on the mat today, and how did that feel?
Get off the mat as quick as possible. I think my first 4 matches today was a total of 1 minute and 34 seconds. So I keep going. Whenever I get to tournaments, especially freestyle and Greco, it's how many matches can I wrestle in the shortest possible time until I have a match that pushes me.
You doing freestyle tomorrow?
Yeah.
You doing both styles?
No, not both age groups. There's 44 in juniors because I have to bump up to 86 kilos. So should still be enough.
Yeah. Looks like you had a 7-3 match in the finals with Anderson. Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah. I feel like definitely a lot of guys, like he knew I wanted double overs. So I just got to my front headlock as soon as possible. Got 2 rolls. A little close to the edge, so I couldn't really capitalize on scoring that more. And then definitely everything started to wear on me, especially that hard U23 finals, even though it was a couple hours ago. I felt it. So I started to wear out a little bit, and I had to keep talking to myself, just hand fight, think back into it, regain your focus. And then I think I gave up a step out or a 1 point, and then I was like, all right, and he started scoring. So he was driving hard, pushing. I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait. He can push me to the edge. I'll capitalize on his momentum. Got a couple step outs. Gave up a caution, which I wasn't really happy about. But I mean, you just got to wrestle through it.
Yeah. So last evening, you found out, the Ivy League season is not going to happen. Can you talk a little bit about that and how much, that's weighing on you?
Yeah, I mean, right now, my big focus is this tournament. I enjoy freestyle and Greco more, but as a team, we kind of figured this was coming. We figured Ivy Leagues would be one of the first ones to shut down. So what we were really just hoping is that we get back into our facilities. We've had to train purely through PRTC, Pennsylvania Regional Training Center. And that involves driving. It takes a lot of time, especially for a lot of the guys who are still in school. So that's a load and we can't wait. We just really hope our weight room opens back up and get back to our strength and conditioning with our actual strength and conditioning coach. And then hopefully we get back in the room and we can just go from there. I feel like that's what we're looking at right now.
Yeah. So how have you been dealing, with less than ideal circumstances?
Well, when I was at home over the summer and stuff, that stuff doesn't really affect me. I live pretty rural. So nobody wears masks. No one's really worried. And then coming back to Philly, it's definitely a little rough. Things are a lot stricter. The online classes, they're just hard to deal with because there's almost no like personality in them. We have a couple of professors who are pretty good at like trying to make it easy going. Like, and those classes I still enjoy. But then you have like some professors who are like, all right, we're just going to try and get through this. Like, I don't like this either. And you just got to deal with it. Just get your work done.
So, with the lack of a folk style season this year, do you think that's going to provide you with more opportunities to kind of pursue freestyle and Greco, which you just said you like better anyways?
Yeah, especially like if we, because the only thing it's the ruling is saying right now is there's no spring competition. There's no winter sports, but then there's no spring competitions till at least after February. So that's kind of where we're like, we don't know if like NCAA is going to try and do like, hey, maybe we'll like throw together some duels or something. It's, I mean, crazy circumstances, so you don't really know. But I mean, we've been purely training freestyle. Me and Jake Stefanovich, the other PRTC guy wrestling Greco, we have another guy who wrestles Greco, but we're pretty much like, we would take our own time to train that. And Coach Slay, like he grew up wrestling Greco, so he has a lot of pointers taught there, but his focus is on the PRTC guys like McKenna, McFadden, Richter, so all those new guys who came in. But we get to learn from those guys too, so that's a big help. Practicing with them all the time.
Yeah. So obviously no junior world this year, but you're still a junior national champion and came through a tough bracket. What does that mean to you?
I'm just glad I finally got a stop sign because when I won cadets, it was like the dinner plate size ones, and I was so upset about that because I think the next year they did the like USA plaques, and I was not happy about that. So that's really all I wanted. I knew it was kind of empty. I knew the brackets weren't going to be big. So on Tuesday, Coach Pearsall hit me up and he was like, hey, there's like no one in U23. He's like, on a double bracket. I talked to my dad. My dad's like a different kind of person. So he was just like, he's like, in the nice way of saying it is I'll disown you if you don't do it. So I was like, all right, whatever. I was only really worried about the overlap if U23 and junior would overlap, but I didn't run into that. So I was just happy. I was hoping to win U23, but Tommy Brackett wrestled with him when I was out at the OTC. Solid competitor. He always wrestles Greco. And I mean, he just shut me down. It was his game plan going in because it's shorter than me, which I'm definitely not used to. So I was like, he shut me down. I was like, I don't have anything. I kept trying different things. Nothing was working. So at least I got one of them.
Yeah. So overall, are you happy with the way you performed?
I would say, I mean, I would have been happier if I won U23, but I'm not upset. I never really have a bad attitude at something about freestyle and Greco. I like wrestling it. So like I lost that match, squatted down for a little bit. I was like, all right, whatever. Put a smile on. It was like, let's just go have fun. So yeah, can't be too upset.
All right. Well, hey, congratulations, kid. Get some rest before tomorrow. I think you earned a little bit.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job, and looking forward to watching you tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Cool. I thought it was going to be way more out of breath. It's been a while, I guess.
Be good.
Sometimes I don't shut up during interviews. I've been told it.
Nah, you're on call.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
my hairline's been looking bad all day. I have to.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, Marisol Legion, junior national champion. How are you feeling?
I'm excited. This is my first tournament for LVWC with Buxton in my corner. I moved down to Bethlehem in, I'm trying to think, August, to start school at Lehigh for the fall semester as a freshman. So it's been really new to me for the past 2.5 months, just while experimenting with what's going to work. So it's good to see it's paying off.
So how did hooking up with the Lehigh Valley Wrestling Club kind of happen? Did you just shoot an email or
I just
how did it go down?
I just met people over time. I was really interested in either getting an Ivy League or, I wanted a top-notch education. I went to a New England prep school, and we really pride ourselves on, our academics. And I really didn't want to sacrifice my academic goals for my wrestling goals. And, I knew Lehigh, it's a top academic, top athletic school. So I just had to talk to the right people to get it set up. I applied on my own I want to say November, I think about a year ago. I did my visit down there, met with some guys who kind of, told me what it would be like. Things just worked out. I applied early decision. I got in, and I wrestled at Prep Nats down there. That was my second time on campus, and everything just come together. So it just kind of happened, I guess. But
was it frustrating kind of having limited options in terms of finding somewhere you could wrestle that also had the academics that you wanted?
It was so frustrating. I can tell you that all of the girls going through the college admissions process right now, it's so stressful, and a part of it is really heartbreaking. I knew as a senior in high school what I wanted to do, and I just knew that I wasn't going to get any help doing that. I wasn't going to get any support doing that. All my friends were committing to wrestle at these Ivy League institutions, Big Ten institutions, all that stuff, and I wanted to do that too, and it just wasn't a possibility. So there was a lot of nights that I was just, I was so sad, trying to figure it out. Do I stop wrestling? Do I kind of give up my academics for that? It was really hard, and I know it's a struggle a lot of girls are still facing. So I will take the time to say that I'm really proud of the current progress that people are making with women's wrestling. I know Tonelli at Columbia and Ayers at Princeton, getting online and having those conversations with girls is really important, because they need to know that it's possible to have good academics and good athletics and still get stuff done.
So do you think that this result is kind of vindicating your decision and what you did going out of high school?
Definitely, I remember when I was in high school, I saw Bree Santos. She was at Columbia, and she was in my bracket today, and she was someone that I just looked up to big time. I was this is crazy. She's the only girl at Columbia. She's trying to wrestle. She's going out to Pan Am. She's getting OW. I was so inspired, and I knew that I wanted to do that for people that came behind me, that they could see that, this is possible. It's not easy. There's not an easy path. You definitely a lot less support if you want the WCWA route, but I think whenever I do something, I just try to think of how it can benefit the girls that come behind me.
So very tough semifinals match,
Yeah.
and then very dominant finals. You walk us through both of them.
My semis match was something that was the match that I was worried about for the tournament. Last fall, I came back from ACL surgery, and I went to Super 32. It was a tournament I just won the year before, and I was coming back and I wanted to repeat. I want to get another belt, and I met Victoria Torres in the semis, and I want to say I was up 4-1. She ended up tech pinning me in the second. So I want to say that was a match that I was scared of, but it was one that I knew was going to be really tough. I knew it was going to be a battle. I knew that was a match that was going to basically decide how I was going to do in the tournament. I think what I've been working on really well this tournament, especially boxing in my corner, just being calm, having fun during my matches. I think the first period of my semis match, I was really excited about it. It wasn't really until I hit the break that I realized I was winning, but I could still lose, and I got a little nervous, gave up some points, ended up getting a lot closer win than I wanted. But for me, that was a big match, just for my headspace, I think, and to see that, I'm developing, I'm working hard, it's improving. I went from getting tech pinned to winning that match, so that was big. The finals is just kind of once you get there, I just want to do well. I was a little taken back when I got taken down at first, but I knew I could recover. I just have to keep wrestling. I like wrestling, so I want to score points. I want to hit big moves. I want to win, and I knew that. I personally think that during most matches, whenever I need to, I can score. So that's something that I wasn't too worried about when I got down at first. I knew I would come back.
So is Olympic team trial potentially on the horizon for you this year?
I hope so. Like, I haven't done too much competition. You know, my junior year I had ACL tear, I was out, and that was followed up by 3 tournaments and then COVID. So that's something I want to look towards. Like, we'll see what happens. Like, we'll see how I'm feeling. Um, we'll see. Like, nothing's really like off the table. Everything's on the table right now. So I'm hoping you'll see me there.
Awesome. Well, hey, congratulations. Great
Thank you.
tournament. Looking forward to watching you compete again.
Thank you.
All right, Jack. Congratulations. All right, Jack Dara, junior national champion. How are you feeling?
Oh yeah, it feels pretty good. I've been in the finals a couple of times, especially in Greco at these big national tournaments, and it feels good to break through and win one this time.
Yeah. So you ran through the bracket on your way up to the finals, 3 technical falls. Then you had a really tough Tyler Hammer, and you rounded out a 4-3 victory.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about that match and about your tournament in general?
Oh yeah, that match was I'd say it's probably a little controversial both ways. He got some slip calls that I wouldn't say I'd agree with, but I mean overall, we were pretty close the whole time, and it ended up coming down to a challenge at the end of the match. So yeah, and then throughout the whole tournament, I'm pretty conservative in Greco. I'm not like a big throw type of guy, but I'm pretty good on top, and that's kind of what I've been working on the last couple of weeks. So, I was able to turn all those guys and get the win.
So when's the last tournament you did?
I competed last weekend actually at the Elite Eight duels.
How'd you do that?
I ended up going 5-2. Lost the same kid twice, but yeah.
You get a good tune-up for this weekend?
Yeah. Especially like a lot of matches in one weekend, especially probably get at least double-digit matches this weekend. So it was a good preparation.
When's the last time you competed in Greco?
It been last year at Fargo, so about a little over a year.
Feeling rusty at all?
Not really, actually. I felt pretty good. I've been training the last couple of weeks pretty hard. At the practice, I'd come get like an hour in a parterre and throws on the dummy and everything. I actually felt pretty good today. So
coming into the tournament, what was your expectation? Did you meet it?
Oh yeah, I'd say I met it. I didn't really have an expectation. I was kind of here to wrestle, see where I was at, because I haven't been really training freestyle Greco, so it was just kind of like see where I was at with everyone.
Yeah. So no junior worlds this year, obviously a bummer, but you're still junior nationals champ. What does that mean to you?
Oh yeah, it means a lot. Like I said earlier, it was a big breakthrough for me. This is something that our coach really prides his coaching on. We have a long history of Greco guys in our club, so it feels good to continue on that tradition.
Awesome. So obviously you're a guy that likes to beat who doesn't, but what do you think your next couple months are going to look like?
I don't know. Our high school season's pretty up in the air right now. I don't think we have anything till January. So in Missouri we have two tournaments outside of like our high school. So I guess I'm done for a while. I'll just be training and lifting and getting stronger.
So how do you keep your motivation up and make sure that you're doing your best even during not ideal situations where you're not wrestling live as much as you'd like to?
Yeah, I'd say losing motivates me a lot. I hate to lose. Ever since I was little, in anything like video games or any sports, just something stupid. But yeah, I just hate losing. I get sick of losing. So just that keeps me going every day.
Yeah. So even after a big tournament like this, you can keep.
Yeah.
Even though you won.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, congratulations, Jack. Great tournament.
Thank
and hopefully you're back on that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna take this off.
All right, Isaac Trumbull. Pretty dominant day. 2 matches, 2 technical falls, both in under 2 minutes. How are you feeling?
Good, really good. We're ready to wrestle tomorrow too.
So coming into this tournament, what were your expectations?
Obviously, I just always want to win. I mean, my coach Pat Popolizio down in North Carolina State, every day he texts us like a kind of a good morning thing, but it's like just says let's win. So every day it's like you gotta get up and win the day. And I mean, if today's win Greco and tomorrow's win freestyle, you gotta go out and try and do that.
Yeah, well, you didn't spend too much time on the match today, so hopefully you're pretty fresh for tomorrow.
Yes.
Can you walk us through your finals match?
So that kid had beat me at Fargo my junior year, and I was up winning. And then it was my first year wrestling Greco, and I walked right into a head throw and got pinned. I ended up getting third at Greco and he got sixth, but that loss still stuck with me. So going into this, I knew he wanted head throws, so I worked with my coach Zach Dominguez from MWC, and he was like, if you get double unders, don't step on the outside, step in the inside, and make sure and keep your head back so he can't head throw you. And then that last 2-point takedown, that's what scored me the win. Was I had double unders and I kept my head back and threw it for a 2.
Yeah. So Zach Dominguez is one of the best international styles coaches in the country.
Definitely.
What's it like being coached by him and coming through that system?
It's hard because my freshman and sophomore year, I was just average. Like in Nebraska, it's like if you're placing top 2, like you're just average. You're not the best. You're just average. And so then I went to Zach, and after 1 year of like partial commitment, then 1 year of like full commitment, and I gave him like all my time. You just saw leaps and bounds, and he just can develop almost any wrestler and be like the best. If you're willing to put your time in, he can develop you to be really good.
So, obviously you're committed to NC State. You got folk style in the next 4 or 5 years. But you still have Greco and freestyle aspirations.
Yes.
Do we see more of you in Greco going forward?
That's kind of hard. So again, back to Fargo, I got 4th in freestyle, and then my parents decided to come up to watch Greco, and I was like, "Why are you coming to watch me? Like, I'm not gonna do good in Greco." And then I go out and get 3rd, and Zach's like, "You're better in Greco than you are freestyle." And I'm like, I mean, there are less people, but I mean, yeah. So Zach always says that I'm better at Greco because I place higher in the Greco division than freestyle, but it's just, I don't know. I like Greco. I also like freestyle. It's just Greco, you don't have to worry about these long legs. So it kind of goes to my advantage for that.
So for foreseeable future of these events, do you think you're going to keep double entering?
I'm going to try to if my coach at NC State let me, but I really do it just to make Zach happy because if you don't do Greco, you're on his bad side. I like being on all my coaches' good sides.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's pretty happy with your performance today. Obviously, no junior worlds, but you're still a junior national champion.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about what that means to you?
So I didn't really ever wrestled much freestyle and Greco in my life, and then as I started getting older and getting better, I kind of started learning like, oh, if you win juniors, then you get to go compete at worlds, and it never kind of like even like still, it's like it hasn't really hit me yet. But still, winning juniors is a good accomplishment.
Awesome. Well, hey, congratulations, Isaac. Great tournament. We look forward to seeing you compete tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. You too.
Hey.
Yep. All right, Spencer Canary, dominant day, tech ball and 2 pins. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. I mean, 2 of the matches were pretty quick. The first one wasn't, but gotta get warmed up, so can't complain.
Yeah, so under a minute pin in the final. You walk us through it?
Yeah, I went out there and I mean, I live in the body lock, so that's what I was looking for. Start out, he has his body lock, but I'm able to get my double overs, clear that, and then I have my ties, and that was the match.
Awesome. So when's the last time you wrestled in a tournament?
In a tournament, had to been beginning of February last year, wrestling opens.
Have you ever had a break that long?
I don't think so, honestly. Like not even like broke my arm or anything like that. Like there's never been like a big break like that before.
How about when's the last time you wrestled Greco?
That would have been in Fargo my senior year, so that was back in 2019. So that's been a minute too.
Were you worried about rustiness on either occasion?
Honestly, no, because it's I pretty much wrestle the same however I wrestle. I'm looking for my ties and it doesn't change that much. So I felt like I was pretty prepared.
Yeah. So South Dakota State had a pretty big contingent of guys doing Greco. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think we have a really good coaching staff that makes it clear that they're going to support us in what we do. So I think that's the reason why we had so many guys show up is because the coaches know if we like to do something, they're going to help us do it.
Coming into college, was Greco something that you were interested in pursuing?
Oh, absolutely. I really enjoy it. It sets up well how I wrestle. So any chance I get to do it, I'm looking to try and compete.
Yeah. So what's it like to have, a big tournament like this right before the start of the NCAA season?
I think it's pretty good just because it kind of gives you a benchmark for where you're at against guys that are kind of in your same age range, and it kind of lets you know where you need to work on. So I think it's a good idea.
Coming into it, what was your expectations?
I was definitely looking to win my bracket coming in. If not, just compete as hard as I can, but definitely looking to win because I had an idea of who was in it, and I thought I could succeed there.
Did you expect to be as dominant as you were?
I mean, I don't know if I expected to be dominant or not, but I definitely knew if I get my throws, that's probably going to end the match, or hopefully it does. That's the plan going in.
Yeah. So no junior worlds this year, but you're still a junior national champion. Can you talk about what that means to you?
Well, partially means, at least for once, I didn't have Colton Schultz in my bracket for first round match. That's what's happened the last 2 times I wrestled UWW juniors. So that was pretty cool. But besides that, I think it just means that, I'm doing the right things, training right. So I'm very happy about that.
So having a guy that's as talented and credentialed as Colton, in your bracket, and you're heavyweights, so
right.
Neither of you are going anywhere. What is that like? And is that something you think about?
Honestly, it's kind of nice having someone like that in your bracket because you're like, well, I know I'm going to be wrestling someone who's one of the best in the world. So if you do well against him, even if you're not the guy, that means you're still getting better. So I like that.
So going forward, it's kind of hard to say what's going to happen with COVID, but ideally, what do your next couple months look like?
I think we keep training. I don't really know starter, not starter. That's not really something I think about a lot. It's just, getting better in the room every day.
Awesome. Well, hey, congratulations. Great tournament, great pin, and hopefully we're seeing you back on the minute soon.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Oh, my hair's rough. It's okay, I guess.
All right, Kennedy Blades, junior national champion, super dominant tournament, 3 technical calls, no points allowed.
Nope.
How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm glad I'm finally on the mat. Again, it was nice.
Saw a couple weeks ago you were wrestling Hannah Gladden,
Yeah.
national team member, picked up a big pin if I'm following correctly.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
Well, it was nice to get a senior to wrestle because there was really no one else I could, wrestle really. So coach tried to find me a senior, and fortunately she said yes. So it was nice. It's a big difference from cadet to senior level. She's really strong and very technical. So it was good.
Was that like a good tune-up for juniors, do you feel like?
Yes, actually, because I didn't compete for a while, and then so getting that match in really helped me mentally. And then 5 days later, I'm here, and then so I think it definitely prepared me. I was happy to get that match.
When was your last tournament for this?
I think it was in South Dakota. It was a duel. I think it was a while ago. It was in the summer. It was before school started in September. It's like August, I think. It's a while, so because I'm used to wrestling on the weekends, so it was a while.
Yeah. Were you worried about being rusty at all?
No, because at practice we still go live and stuff, and I practice with the guys sometimes. So I was still I still practice my pre-match routine. I still practice with the singlet on, because you can't just walk into a tournament without preparing. So I don't think I was rusty.
Yeah, when you're back out there for your first match of the day, and you got the referee and the scoreboard, and, whistles blowing, what did that feel like?
Well, I smiled before I shook her hand. It's just so nice to, I don't know, just be in the atmosphere and hear those sounds. It was exciting, so I was happy.
You're doubled up in wrestling U23 tomorrow, right?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm too young. I'm a junior. So.
Oh, my bad.
That's no, it's okay.
I guess I just thought because you're so dominant, you must be going tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bummer.
Yeah.
But so, since you are a junior, are Olympic team trials on your radar at all, or is that not something?
Actually, it is. So I was I'm barely eligible to, so that's one of the biggest goals.
If they had happened last year, would you have been eligible?
No, yeah, so I got super lucky. Yeah.
Would I know it's a little while ahead of you, but would you rather go 68 or 76, or is that something you haven't thought about?
I think 68 kilos. Yeah, I think I'll be strong there at that weight. So yeah.
Leading up to that, what are you going to be doing? And obviously, you're going to continue your training. Is there anything different or anything you'll try to get yourself to do?
I don't really think so. I mean, my diet's going to change, obviously, because I'm not going to cut the wrong way, of course. But I'm going to get more technical and still keep building and in my arsenal, and just prepare and be excited.
Yeah. So again, three technical fall shutouts. Can you walk us through them a little bit? Were they all were you just gutting people? Were you lacing people? How'd they go?
Well, the first match I took her down, and then I did, I think, 2 guts, and then I wanted to get a pin, so I was going to go for a cross-face cradle, but then I just transitioned to a butcher, and I pinned her like that in, I think, 40 seconds. And then the second match, I teched her 11-0 in like a minute and 40 seconds, just to get some like wrestling in. And then, oh god, sorry. And then in the finals, it was, obviously you want to be on and off, but it was a little different. Of course, I went to the second period, and I teched her, fortunately, 11-0. So it was good to like get that strong feel. So yeah, it was good to.
So it sounds like you have really high standards for yourself. Do you feel like you met them in this tournament?
Yeah, I would have preferred to win in the first period, but I mean things happen. So yeah, I think I wrestled pretty well. I was quick and like focused really. So it was good.
Yeah. So obviously you've got a lot of hardware on your shelf over the years, and there is no Junior Worlds this year, but you are a junior national champion and you did so in a very dominant fashion. What does that mean to you, especially coming off of the layoff like you were?
Well, I have very high standards, so I was expecting to win, but it's nice just to have that title still. It can never be taken from me. So yeah, I'm satisfied. So.
Well, hey, congratulations, outstanding wrestling.
Thank you.
And can't wait to see you back on the mat again soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, Tristan. Okay. All right, Tristan Kelly, junior national champion. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good.
You had a really good day. 3 technical falls, I think. No points allowed. That you can't get much more dominant than that. How do you feel about your performance?
I feel really good. I've been training, and so it's really nice to have this payoff. Like knowing that we're in the middle of a rough time and having the opportunity to wrestle is just awesome.
So are you competing tomorrow?
Yeah, I am.
So what's that like wrestling back-to-back tournaments and back-to-back days? Obviously, you didn't spend too much time on the mat today, but still, it's not easy to do, right?
I mean, having a back-to-back tournament, I feel like I'm pretty used to it. I go from wrestling cadets and juniors, so it's not much different than normally.
Why do you always kind of push yourself to do that?
Just to see what level I'm at. Like, so when I go up in age group, I can see where I'm at.
Fair enough. So coming into the tournament, what were your expectations? And I guess I can ask, what are your expectations for tomorrow?
My expectations coming into this tournament were just to do the best that I can and showcase what I have. And I obviously feel like I did that. And then for tomorrow, just wrestle my best and see like where I'm at and what I need to work on when I go home.
So from a performance like this, where you outscore everybody 30-0, what can you take away from it and that you need to work on and develop?
Well, from my matches, I feel like I need to work on my conditioning, and that's one thing that I feel like a lot of people right now need to work on. But other than that, I feel like I need to work on my singles and doubles and just clean stuff up for like nationals.
When was the last time you wrestled?
I wrestled at senior nationals, I think last month.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah.
Still, with the limited competition, I'm sure that you're used to competing a lot more frequently than you have been. What's it been like, and then what is it like when you're able to get back on the mat and get some matches in?
It's been really hard, like training for feels like nothing. But when I get the opportunity to wrestle, it's awesome, and I feel like my work's paying off. And yeah.
What kind of improvements and gains do you feel like you've made over the past 8 or 9 months? When wrestling is limited.
I feel like some of the gains that I made was mentally, and I mean not so much physically because it's hard to train to what I was before, but I feel like from now on it goes up.
Yeah. So it's it's a very strange time, and you're in your freshman year of college, which it makes it even weirder.
Yeah.
What's that been?
It's really hard because I never know what's going on, but I love Colorado Mesa. It's an awesome place, and yeah.
Cool. So between right now and tomorrow morning, what are you going to be doing?
Trying to make weight.
Fair enough. Well, good luck tomorrow. Congratulations on
Thank
today.
you.
You wrestled awesome.
Thank you.
Great job, and again, looking forward to watch your wrestle tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that's it, everybody. Turn on tomorrow.
I heard that.